Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So, okay, the second that I saw this card, let's just say that, I didn't expect much out of Farmer Cotton, but my goodness was I wrong. I saw the name, I saw the picture, and I was like, there's no way this could probably be the most broken commander from this set, the most busted commander from this set. But, yeah, Farmer Cotton is probably the scariest commander out of all the commanders in the entire Lord of the Rings set. So, look out, Sauron, because here comes Farmer Cotton. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is frightening. Anyways, a 1/1 halfling peasant that costs X green white. Enters the battlefield, create X 1/1 white halfling creature tokens, and X food tokens. So, we have a low to the ground commander that only costs technically 2 mana, but obviously is an X cost. It allows you to pump a ton of mana into that X cost, and you are getting 2 tokens for the price of 1. So again, if you literally only spend 3 mana on this commander, you are getting a 1/1 halfling and a food token. I'm saying 3 mana total, not 3 mana that X. Now, that itself is not all that powerful, obviously. That being said, there are a ton of combo implications with this commander. My goodness, the incredible amount of mana that you can generate with this, it is just absolutely absurd. There's so many things that play with this. There are so many things that say, oh yeah, this works with it. Oh yeah, this works with it. Oh yeah, this works with it. Oh yeah, I just have infinite creatures. Oh, I've got infinite food. Oh, I've got infinite life. Oh, I've got infinite mana. All of those things basically are very, very possible with this commander. Even if you're not going infinite with it, the amount of potential that this thing has is just absurd. Again, it might not seem like much to start. At first, again, I was just laughing that it was like, oh, it's Farmer Cotton. Okay, cool. Oh my God, scary. Yeah. Please, if you play CEDH out there, I am no CEDH expert, so I could be wrong on that, on it being, you know, an actual impactful commander in CEDH. I'm just saying that the amount of combo implications of this commander are absurd, and there's so many cards that work well with it, and we're going to jump into those and more on this episode. This one's going to be a bit of a different one. Yes, I'm going to include the card list link in the description below. That will remain the same. So yeah, make sure if you are interested in this commander, make sure you check that out, because yeah, this is a powerhouse of a commander that can do some pretty incredible things. On this episode, though, I'm going to take you through the budget buys, which are cards that are less than $1, and the pricier picks. That's going to stay the same, but I'm actually reversing the order of these. Usually I go through the budget buys first. In this one, just to illustrate a point, yep, we're going to be talking about the pricier picks first, because, well, first up, there's Ashnod's Altar. Oh my, gross. So, sacrifice a creature, add colors to your mana pool. Yeah, this is an incredibly good card. It's a card that's actually less expensive than I thought it was. It's seen a couple reprints recently, I think. $7 currently. Yeah, still a pretty expensive card. Well outside of my budget. But again, for every single mana you put into that X, again, you get 1 halfling and 1 food. Now, with this in play, you get 2 mana back for every single 1 mana you put into that X, essentially, okay? So therefore, yeah, get all the halflings out, and the halflings like, yeah, and then you sacrifice them, they're like, no, but then you get mana, so it's great. Moving on, hey, you know what's good with 1 altar? Another altar for Phyrexian Altar. Yeah, this is definitely part of the combo engine for this commander, because, yeah, as Ashnod's Altar is amazing and absolutely incredible, and if you have both out in play, that's great. But Phyrexian Altar can give you 1 mana of any color. Sacrifice a creature and 1 mana of any color. So you can pay for your commander's cost again with that green and that white. And yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that. We are going to be doing that again and again and again. Again, there are so many ways to combo with this commander. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. Oh my goodness, yeah, in Selesnya especially, this is just pretty crazy. So yeah, sacrifice all your creatures, and then add a ton of mana, recast your commander, make even more creatures, sacrifice those, and of course, yeah, with the combination between this and Ashnod's Altar, you can make even more next time, if you are able, again, I should say, to bring your commander back to your hand. Of course, there's plenty of ways to do that. We'll talk about those here in a little bit. But also, hey, don't ignore those food, okay? Food is great, right? We can make it, we can gain life with it, great. No. I mean, you can, but no. We're actually just going to sacrifice those too. Krark-Clan Ironworks. This card, I believe, got banned in Modern because it was so incredibly powerful. And yeah, here you go. Sacrifice an artifact, add colors to your mana pool. Again, basically the exact same thing as Ashnod's Altar, but for artifacts instead of creatures. So there you go. Now you can sacrifice your creatures for mana, you can sacrifice your food for mana. So literally, if you have, let's say, all three of these in play, which is a pretty awesome combination, if you have all three of these cards I just talked about in play, you play your commander. Let's say you put 5 mana into that X, okay? You spent 7 mana. You're in a green deck. You can spend even more usually, but let's just say you put 5 into it, okay? Cool. You get 5 halflings and you get 5 food. Let's sacrifice those in the best way possible. I guess, okay, not assuming that we have to recast our commander, so I guess we just use Ashnod's and Krark Clan, so we don't even need the actual other altar, right? We can sacrifice all those and get 10 mana, right? We just double up our mana from all of that. Wait, did I say 10? I meant 20, right? Because we get 5 and 5 times 2, that's 20. So yeah, we get 20 mana for putting 5 into it. Yeah, there are gross things that can be done with this commander. Yep. Moving on. Hey, you know what else is good? Academy Manufacturer. Yeah, I can see the price of this going up just a little bit after this set. You know, Farmer Cotton, you are partially to blame with this. If you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, say create one of each. Mean, gross, awesome. Hey, you know what's really good with this one? Well, typically, yeah, when you create treasures, that's nice. You know, sure, I get a clue and a food, but I'd rather get treasures. So yeah, when I'm creating clues or food, this card is more valuable for the most part. And yes, I get to make a ton of food with this commander. In fact, for every single mana I put in to make food, I get 1 mana back as a treasure, which again can, of course, help. If you can get your commander back in your hand and recast, you've got mana fixing. Yeah, Academy Manufacturer, yet another way to just break this commander and say, yeah, sure, let's just go infinite with crazy things. Sure, why not? Yeah, it doesn't really take all that much effort or much setup to do. And there's so many different lines, so many different cards that combo with it. There's just a lot that you can do. And even if you aren't comboing again, the amount of value you can get from this is absurd. If you are comboing with this one specifically, again, when you're making food, you also get clues on top of the treasures, so you can draw your deck. You can draw as many cards as you want. Have fun. Moving on, Inspiring Sanctuary. This one is ridiculous, and actually, this should be a budget buy. I put this in the wrong column, but you know what? We're going to continue because I'm thrown off. But we're going to keep going. Inspiring Sanctuary. Non-artifact spells you cast have improvise, which means your artifacts can help cast them. So now your food, instead of sacrificing them, you can actually just tap them for mana, essentially, right? Your commander is a non-artifact spell. So cool. You can then get food out. You tap those to get your commander out. You know, putting all that mana into that X, essentially. I mean, yeah, basically, yeah, just each one of your food is now a new mana to make more food. And then next time you cast your commander, you tap even more food. And then next time, even more, even more, even more. Absolutely absurd. Kind of like a Cryptolith Rite for your food. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, Cryptolith Rite, obviously really good in this deck too. I mean, you don't have too many ways to give haste to your entire team, like that one Crashing Drawbridge could do it. Also that one very expensive World Enchantment, because that's a thing. A Concordant Crossroads, there we go. That also gives your creatures haste. So sure, if you got those combinations, regardless, Inspiring Sanctuary gives you mana essentially right away with your food. So yeah, tap those for mana. And when it comes to getting more out of your tokens, yeah, we got tons of token doublers. Mondrak Glory Dominus, yet another new one that we've got. Okay, cool. Hey, if one of our tokens is created in your control, twice that many of those are created instead. Also can make this indestructible incredibly easily, because again, our commander gives us tokens. This says pay 1 Phyrexian White. Basically, 1 mana and 4 life is probably what you're going to do. Sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures, but an indestructible counter on this. Literally, just 1 of that mana that you put in your commander's X didn't even cover this. I mean, like, you basically covered it with half that amount of mana. If you could pay a half amount of mana into your commander, that would have done it. Because paying 1 gives you not 1, but 2 tokens normally, right? 1 halfling and 1 food. But with Mondrak in play, you double it. So you get 2 halflings and 2 food. So sacrifice half of those to get an indestructible counter on this to make it really hard to deal with. Double up your tokens every single time you cast your commander. Absolutely absurd. I mean, just think about this in combination with any of those sacrifice outlets or any other thing I've talked about so far. Again, you can see the potential for this commander and just how absurdly broken it is. And yeah, there are a ton of ways to double things in Selesnya. Again, this is like the perfectly gross color combination for this commander. I mean, yeah, if I don't mention it, doubling season will get yelled at. Doubles up your counters, doubles up your tokens. This, Parallel Lives, Annoying Procession, I'm sure Primal Vigor, is that another one? There's a lot, okay? There's a lot of ways to double up your tokens. So double them, and then, yeah, cast Second Harvest and double them again. Just, goodness gracious, the amount of crazy things that you can do with this commander, again, is incredible. And again, this is one that I think is going to not, I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to get overlooked, but again, most players looking, it's like, oh, it's Farmer Cotton, that can't be too impactful. And then you're like, oh my, no, I was wrong. Moving on, Panharmonicon. Yeah, even more gross things. Again, that is an ETB trigger. Let's double that up too. Hey, with all these other doubling effects, let's double that. If an effect or creature, or sorry, an artifact or creature in a battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control a trigger, triggers the additional time. Your commander says, oh, cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you spent how much for that X? All right, cool. Let's make 10 halflings, 10 food. Oh, wait, but let's double that. 20 halflings, 20 food. Great. Oh, but wait, we have doubling season play. Okay, 40. 40 each. Yeah, this can get out of control in absolutely no time. It's absolutely absurd. And of course, again, this isn't the only Panharmonicon type effect, which is the original name of Panharmonicon, right? There you go. Elish Norn, Mother Machines, yet another Panharmonicon type effect. Permanent entering the battlefield causes triggered ability trigger. Triggers twice for you. Also, this shuts down your opponent's ETBs, so that's just mean. But yeah, this is incredible. This says, hey, Farmer Cotton, the most powerful being in the universe. Come here onto my side. I am Elish Norn. I will double up your things. You're welcome. Also, I'll stop your enemies from doing things. Farmer Cotton. Everyone bow to Farmer Cotton. You are absolutely incredible. Yeah, I think even Elish Norn would realize just how absurd Farmer Cotton is. And yeah, there are plenty of ways to also bounce Farmer Cotton back to your hand so you can do it again and again and again. One of them being Temur Sabertooth, which has fluctuated between budget and non-budget. Unfortunately, right now, not budget for me. Again, $1.28. Pretty budget friendly, though, for many players out there. Pay 1 in a green. You may return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, Temur Sabertooth gains indestructible out of turn. A protected outlet for bouncing, which, again, in combination with a lot of those ways that we just talked about to make an absurd amount of mana. Yeah, those altars, the Academy Manufacturer, which makes you treasures, all of those things. Hey, bounce Farmer Cotton back to your hand. Recast Farmer Cotton for probably more. Double up whatever those tokens are with other crazy effects as well. Do it again and again and again. Essentially an infinite amount of times. Okay, yes, rules layers out there. I know that technically there's no infinite. Okay, yes, pick a number. But still, you win. You win. You've got infinite life because you got all those foods. You got infinite food still in play. You've got infinite halflings, so you can win that way. You've got all these other advantages. Again, if you had Academy Manufacturer, you can draw your entire deck and get to the exact things that you need to win. You could have other ETB triggers that you really want to take advantage of too. You could have other creatures that you can bounce back to your hand to recast for whatever their cast trigger is, their ETB trigger is. Yeah, you win from there. So yeah, Temur Sabertooth, a great card to consider as well. And again, I am pretty much cutting this Pricier picks list short, okay? I've got to get through this episode somehow. There's a ton of other cards to consider. Again, I kind of mentioned some, but yeah, there's a ton of other cards to consider that are just like, yeah, this goes in with a lot of things. This is pretty gross in many directions, so have fun. Moving on, let's go into the budget buys, where there definitely are still cards that are pretty crazy with this and pretty broken as well. So first up, let's talk about yet another bounce effect that is incredible with this commander, Meticulous Excavation. An enchantment for a single white mana. Pay 2 and a white, return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it has Unearth, instead exile it, that doesn't matter. Activate only during your turn. That does matter. So, I mean, I guess unless you had Flash, you really couldn't, do this combo. Anyways, regardless, on your turn, all you need to do is get this in play, bounce your commander back to your hand, replay your commander, do all those crazy things, bounce your commander again, do it again. Yeah, repeatable bounce effects that are basically free when you can generate infinite mana. Yeah, are pretty absurd with this. So yeah, even at 5 mana, Aegis Automaton, I can't even say that right now. I was going to say Automation. Automaton. 0/3 construct. Pay 4 and a white. Return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. Yeah, you're probably going to be able to pay for that and then some, again, in combination with being able to cast your commander for more than you just paid for it because of all these other factors, all these other things that you're set up to do. Things are crazy with this kind of a commander. Have I mentioned that before? How absurd Farmer Cotton is and how it's just the end-all, be-all commander from this set that is going to dominate boards. And of course, outside of repeatable ones, there's also a lot of just other miscellaneous ways that you can just bounce your commander back to your hand. I mean, of course, there's ways to get it from your graveyard back to your hand, but also, yeah, Light the Way, a very simple 1-mana spell. Choose one. You get a counter on a creature or vehicle. Don't do that. You may return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. Do that one. Hey, yeah, 1 mana, bounce your commander back to your hand to recast your commander for even more. Yep, you can keep doing that. And of course, there's even more ways to do this. There's ways to draw deeper into your deck, so you can keep drawing into these kinds of effects too. And like I mentioned earlier, there's like Cryptolith Rite, which you can use, which is definitely a not budget-friendly card, but Song of Freyalise is. Hey, first and second lore counters, those are nice. Until your next turn, creatures you control gain tap, add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, basically Cryptolith Rite for 2 turns. Again, if you plan this correctly, lovely. You can make a ton of tokens beforehand. You get this down, and the next turn you can just tap all those creatures for a ton of mana. So have fun with that. Keep in mind, I don't believe this would give it to your next creatures coming into play. So like if you were trying to go infinite and like tapping your creatures, if you somehow had Concordant Crossroads in play too, I don't think your new creatures coming in play could tap. So yeah, correct me below in the comments if I'm wrong on that one, but I don't believe that's correct. So yeah, anyways, moving on. Fecundity. Hey, you know what's good with all this? Drawing cards. This one you need to be careful with, though. I guess you probably could draw into a removal spell taken out, though. Says, actually it does say may, never mind, you're fine, you don't have to be careful at all. Whenever a creature dies, the creature's controller may draw a card. A big thing with this one, unlike other somewhat similar effects to this, is that this one does not care if it's a token creature. This one says, I do not care. Oh, you just spent 10 mana, made 10 halflings, and then you sacrifice them? Great, draw 10 cards. And yes, this will help your opponents out, but nowhere near as much it's going to help you out, because again, you're going to be getting an absurd amount of creatures out incredibly quickly, and potentially going infinite and drawing your entire deck with something like this. So yeah, that's fun. Moving on, another way to just basically draw your deck if you are going infinite, Well of Lost Dreams. Hey, whenever you gain life, you can pay X, where X is less than the amount of life you gain, or equal. If you do draw X cards, again, keep in mind, those food tokens can be used to gain life, so do that. And when you have infinite mana, draw your library too. Even if you're not going infinite again, and you're just casting your commander for just again, 5, X and 5, okay? You are going to say, oh, okay, cool, I made 5 halflings, 5 food. Yeah, I can sacrifice a food. Let's see, I would like to draw deeper into my deck, so yeah, just before my turn, I'll spend some mana on that. Okay, pay 2, tap, sacrifice, gain 3 life, pay 3 mana, draw 3 cards. Yeah, 5 mana, repeatable, draw 3, that's quite good. So even again, at a base value, that's great. Also, hey, again, remember how tiny your little creatures are? Let's make them bigger. Collect a blessing. Yeah, you can also just go beat down strategy with this too if you really want to. If you just want to go wide, which you can go so wide with these creatures, it's absurd. Go beat down with it too. Creatures you control with +3/+3, collect a blessing. There's a ton of great anthems in these colors. And your tiny little halflings now are quite beefy, swinging through and hitting your opponents for a lot. I mean, also Nykthos Paragon. Yeah, that's good as well. 4/6 human soldier. Whenever you gain life, you can put that many counters on each creature you control. Do this only once each turn. Again, it says each turn, not just your own. Let's say, and again, you are in green, you've got access to a ton of mana. Hey, let's say you've got 10 creatures in play and also 10 food tokens or whatnot, and you've got enough mana on each of your turns to sacrifice 1 food token. So you do that, and then you do that, and then you do that, then you do that. Each of those times you did that, you gained 3 life. You got 3 counters on every single creature you control. You just got 12 counters with 1 trip around the table on every creature you control, and you gain 12 life for just 8 mana. Your massive army, again, which was just 10 little 1/1s, is now, what, 13 13s? Yeah, game-ending army of halflings just by having this in play and putting some mana into some food that your commander just freely makes you on top of the halflings that it gives you? Absurd. Want to get even more absurd, though? Fangren Marauder. Hey, let's gain even more life. Hey, whenever an artifact is put in a grave from the battlefield, you may gain 5 life. This counts your opponent's artifacts as well, so keep that in mind. But yeah, sacrificing a food now doesn't just equal 3 life, it equals 8 life. So again, in combination with like Well of Lost Dreams, even better. Nykthos Paragon, even better as well. Yeah, this is just a really good card in a deck. If you're going to go, probably not if you're not going the combo. If you're going the combo route, you definitely don't need this. But if you're going more of a relaxed strategy, let's say, hey, yeah, gaining a good amount of life, that's nice and can go really well with certain things. So yeah, overall, this commander, Farmer Cotton, I did not expect to say that. Again, the second that I saw this commander's name and the picture, I intended to probably ignore it because I thought it was going to be a garbage commander. It is not. It is a scary commander. It is probably the most busted commander out of all the commanders in Lord of the Rings, which is something to say because there's been a lot of very good and powerful commanders from this set. But this one, I think, has the most gross combo potential out of all the commanders out there, and you need to be on the lookout for like 18 different things going on, or Farmer Cotton will take you out in absolutely no time. Again, all the token doublers, all the sacrifice effects, all of the card draw it can give you, all of those other absurd things that Academy Manufacturer, there are so many things this can do. You are going to lose. That's all I've got to say to you. If you're playing against this, you're probably going to lose if they get set up in any which way. You need to have so much removal to take out all the different little pieces that work with this, or you are done. So yeah, Farmer Cotton, you're scary. You're very scary. So Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Anyways, comment below your thoughts on Farmer Cotton. And yeah, make sure you're staying tuned. Potentially 3 more quick takes and spoilers coming out. I'm not sure exactly what's happening tomorrow, if there's even more coming out. I think it was through tomorrow. Today might be the last day, though, so we shall see, though. And with that, today's episode is coming to a close, so let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.